This is Rosalee, the Seven Figure Doula Whisperer, and this is another segment of Chat Bout where we transform lives one conversation at a time. And this evening, I'm going to have with me Miss Sade Stephenson. She is in California, and we are collaborating together to bring information to parents via the training that I have created. And I always talk about collaboration, the importance of collaboration, and knowing that the main the main reason for me to create this training is to create an impact in the maternal community, because we're in a crisis, and it doesn't matter how we're going to spin it if we don't have qualified um, caregivers, qualified birth workers who's going to go into the home and help to provide that care for moms. For parents during that postpartum period, we're not going to be able to make the impact that we need to make within the maternal crisis that we're facing right now. A lot of time when people hear the word doula or even birth workers, they associate that with just the birth. And I want to bring the awareness to everyone to let everyone know that it does not stop at the birth. Things do happen when you get home, right? You have the emotional roller coaster to deal with. You have a new child, our children, because sometimes twins or triplet multiples, but also you may have older children that you have to care for also. And then on top of that, you still have your life. You have you to care for, and you have a partner. So it's so important knowing that you have that support when you get home to identify things that's going on, right? But for you to have that emotional support, the physical support, and also the educational support. So I want to stretch the importance of care after. So, Mr. Day, let me know if you can hear me. Today it's saying you're mute. Okay. For some reason, can you hear me clearly? Okay, good.
Let him in.
Okay. Hold 1 second for me. You're no in. Okay, hold on. Let me.
All the way there.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, awesome.
You gotta let Lawrence in.
I need to let Larson. Okay, give me 1 second. Shadi, can you still hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So how are you doing this evening or this afternoon for you,
I'm
matter
doing,
of fact?
I'm doing really good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. This is our second time that you're joining us, and we really appreciate it. We know that you are just as passionate as I am about what's going on in the maternal community. So can you introduce yourself to the audience and give us a little bit about your background?
Sure. My name is Sade Stephenson. I am the program director of McKallen Medical Training Center based in California, in Southern and Northern California, where we train students to step into the healthcare industry. A lot of students that enroll in our programs are interested in transitioning into healthcare, and we teach them CPR, CNA training, EKG training, home health aid, and pretty soon we'll be adding in phlebotomy and EMT training.
Okay.
So we've recently added a new course, which is going to be focusing on the newborn care specialist And Ms. Rosalee and myself, we collaborated so that we can offer a online self-paced course to train individuals to become certified as a newborn care specialist to help with postpartum mothers and newborns in those first weeks after delivery.
Correct. And not only as postpartum specialists, but newborn care specialists, but also postpartum support, because our
Right.
training is beyond just taking care of the newborn, but also supporting the parents. So that always making sure that when we go into the home, we incorporate everyone. No one is left behind, right? So we're there for the physical support, educational support, and also resource for the whole family. So I'm so happy that we're able to collaborate and join together to make this joint venture successful. And I'm looking forward to having all your students on board and to be part of the community, because we always say that even though you are on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, joining together, now we can create a bigger impact, right? So now we're not just supporting families here in Georgia, but you're also supporting families in California, and we're hoping and praying that within a few years we can totally come together more and meet more, so we can expand to more states, because every mom need help. Every mom need, whether
Exactly.
even if it's not the physical help, but we can do it virtually. We can provide the digital products also.
Thank you. Ditto. I don't have anything to add. That was beautiful.
Well, so let's get to it. So can you share more of what do you envision getting out of this venture? I'd say what my hope is.
I would say my hope is to not only train past students, like our alumni that have done certification courses, but new community members that don't necessarily have a healthcare background that are interested into doing this program. So either healthcare professionals or non-healthcare professionals, teachers, communities professionals, church members, things like that, who are interested in providing care for their loved ones. My hope is that this interest intrigues different people from all different backgrounds, because everyone has kids, everyone has experiences pregnancy in some way, shape, or form, as whether it be your mother, your sister, your cousin. And so taking a course like this not only prepares you for a new certification, but also to become a caregiver and a specialist for your family. So my hope is that this intrigues different types of curiosities besides healthcare professionals, so that we can reach a larger demographic who may not have considered this before.
Awesome. And I'm so glad you touched on some of those different industry who may not even be thinking about it. Because I have a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and this person, she actually works at the church, right? And they are seeing babies where moms are, leaving the baby 6 weeks at the nursery. And I was saying to her, what type of training does the caregivers have, right? Because taking care of a toddler is so different from taking care of a newborn, right? And it's so different than taking care of older child. So she was like, that really piqued her curiosity, like, okay, yeah, this is something that we need to incorporate, and making sure that the caregivers, that the moms are entrusting us to be taking care of their babies, really know what they're doing. And sometimes even to be able to identify, even you're working at a church, but you may see something that you can even suggest to mom, like, hey, I would suggest that, or what do you think about this, or have you seen this? This doesn't. We're not diagnosing anything, but if a child is in your care, you're supposed to be able to identify or see what's going on, that you can point it out to a parent. So. Yeah. So, as you know, I'm really, really passionate about, the whole maternal community, and making sure that moms have the support, parents have the support that they need. And I always say parents because, you know, both parents do need the support.
Right. This is something that I would like to also see in high school because students juniors, seniors could learn these skills and also use this training to possibly help out their, like I said, help out their family members. But this is something that could be easily implemented into high school just to give students an opportunity to get exposure to this type of training, and maybe and spark an interest to pursue additional healthcare training.
Most definitely. So, I want to share with my audience, for those who are in Atlanta, especially in the Stone Mountain or the Snellville area, because that's where my office is. So this month is breastfeeding month, and I am donating a breast pump. Every week that I'm on the show, I'm giving away a breast pump, and also I am giving away a package of, it's 5 in the pack of storage bags. So if anyone who is in Atlanta or in the Stone Mountain or the Snellville area, I'll definitely meet you if you can meet me at the office, and I want to share this with you. I'm all for breastfeeding, but we all know sometimes, mom have to go back to work and she have to pump, or mom may be having issues. You never know. But I'm not saying not breastfeed and use a breast pump. That's not what I'm saying. But for those who in need of a breast pump and storage bag, I'll be giving away one every week for the next 2 more weeks, or 2 or 3 Thursdays we have left in this month, however Thursdays we're on the show, we're going to be giving away one. So please send me a message, DM, or you can give me a call, which is 678-898-4005, and I'll be happy to share these goodies with you. Okay. Right, Michelle, you want one?
We can't.
I was actually thinking that's a great idea to incentivize some of our students, so I might steal that idea.
Yes. We always have to, share and find ways of giving back. We can't just like talk and not do. So this is my way of giving back and sharing with my community. Like I say, we always sharing. So not only physically sharing, but we make sure that we are there to provide emotional support for a client. Making sure that there are assurance of comfort. We're there to see if anything is going on, that we can refer mom to whoever she needs to talk to. A mental health therapist, because having sometimes coming home with a newborn, feeling overwhelmed and sleep deprived, you need that that person to talk to who have the expertise. That's what they do. As a postpartum doula, we know to stay in her lane, stay in her role. We're just there for the physical support, the emotional support, and to provide the resource, be able to refer them to the appropriate, healthcare provider.
Right. I would like to add that sometimes you don't want your family involved.
That is true. That is so true.
Sometimes you don't want your family there because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So having somebody that is able to give you expert opinion, it might be a better option.
Yeah, that is true.
So.
Yeah, because sometimes too, we just so many like unresolved trauma, and having sometimes, as parents, we can have such strong opinions of what we believe in and what we think is right, and things change, right? Because like when I had my kids, my oldest just went off to college yesterday, 18. When I had my
youngest.
I said what did I say?
You said oldest.
Oh, my youngest. Oh no, yeah, my baby, my youngest, right? Yeah, my youngest. So even for her at 18, when I had her, I could put her on her stomach, right? No, you're not. You're not supposed to, right? But having that training. And if you walk into a home and that's what the parents choose to do, you still have to respect what the parents want. It's just that you can't do it. But how do you address that? So those are the things that we also cover in the training. Because not because you can do it with your child, that doesn't mean you can do it with a client's child.
Right. And so the professionalism, the communication, just working with different cultures.
Yes.
You're definitely going to learn different ways to work around, to compromise, to handle difficult situations or crucial conversations. That is something that you just got to deal with it. And so handling it in a very professional way. I tell students that you want to hear both sides, not necessarily take it personally, because you're right. You're working with different types of past experiences, and it might not be the correct way, but that's an opportunity to learn and offer information that is based on evidence and evidence-based practice.
Yes, yes.
So
yes,
that's something that you always want to it's always be open to things, but then at the same time be able to provide educational moments.
Right. And not having the training and not knowing what to say and, how to handle yourself, you will be totally lost. And with our training, we also have a community. So if something happened, at least you have that village, right? So we're not only providing village for the parents, we're also providing village for us, the birth workers, because we need that support too.
Right.
So having that village that you can tap into, like, hey, I come across this situation. Have you ever experienced this situation? This person who have been through it before, you can now say, you know what? Yes, I have. And this is how I was able to handle it. This is then evidence-based resource that you use to share with the family, because even if a mom wants you to do something and you know within yourself that's not the right way, having the evidence-based information to present to her and say, you know what, I know you're asking me to do this, but this is evidence-based as what is the correct way to do it. So unfortunately, even though you want me to do it, I cannot do it. Right? So you're not telling her, no, because of your culture, whatever, presenting her. Because at the end of the day, that's her child.
Right. And then sometimes when you present it in that way, you will see the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
Nope.
So you'll see how it affects populations, how unfortunately sometimes it can affect negative outcomes. So that is a technique that that is best to handle difficult situations and, like I said, crucial conversations.
That is so important, so important. So, yeah, and like I said, just having that village, that other person that you can bounce ideas off is so important. You touch on like different cultures. There's so many different culture, and you have to respect each person's culture. And that's something that we also, talk about in the training and in our group settings. Because for me, I've been doing this for so long, right? And I've seen so many things and so many stories and so many things that I can share with others on a personal level that I've experienced that you're not going to get that in a textbook.
Any stories come to mind?
Oh, my God. So, yeah. Yes.
Do you mind sharing?
Let's have one.
So I remember this one in particular where and I talk about this in my group setting with my with my team a lot of time. Be careful with your phone and texting, right? I remember this night, this mom had texted me, and she had texted me about picking up the milk. And I read the text, but I didn't clear, right? And then my husband texted me, and he's like, have a good night. And I was like, please pray for me because, this walk into this situation, and, the client want me X, Y, Z. And, I sent the message to the mom.
No.
I said, and it's something that I talked to them about, but just like you said, just like presenting that evidence base, because what they wanted me to do was outside of my scope, right?
So this is a crucial conversation. How did you handle it?
Yeah, well, needless, I did apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry. I was texting, I was responding to my husband. Needless to say, yes, I was fired. That was my first and only job I got fired from. But it's just like, I was upset about it because what they wanted me to do was outside the scope of what I should do or can do, right? And they did not really accept me pointing out like, okay, this is not something I could do or should do. But yeah, so that's one of the stories. So yes, that's my one and only time that I got fired. But yeah. So just be careful. Just be careful with your phone. Be careful, but
well,
yeah.
I mean, recently in the news, there's been different types of HIPAA violations. Not saying that, but there has been all types of different situations where that phone has gotten a lot of people in trouble.
Yes,
so
yes.
And the thing is, be careful with your phone.
Yeah. Well, luckily I didn't go into any details. All I say is just be careful because I walk into a situation tonight and, it's just outside my scope and I don't think that, I don't think that it has been accepted well. So, luckily I didn't go into any detail or anything, but they weren't happy. But, I could have seen where, because you're talking to, like your spouse or whatever, that you may feel like, okay, you're venting, but just be careful. So I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson then. Yeah. So yeah, I always point that out. Just be careful. Yeah. Yep. Today.
Well, I mean, not necessarily in the realm of OBGYN or postpartum, but I would kind of like think when it comes to mind is when I think of different situations where you try to tell what's best for your patient, but then your patient has a difference of opinion. And so kind of on the other side of it, not necessarily agreeing with the treatment plan, but despite what you're saying, they go against it and you have to observe. That is a difficult situation. And sometimes ethically, how do you handle that? Right. And so that's where I think a network of professionals, the Facebook group, that's where it's going to be helpful. Because like one thing that comes to mind when it comes to postpartum care is diet. And so sometimes dietary restrictions are not followed. And sometimes there are things that are consumed that are strongly recommended to avoid.
Right.
And so that's the thing that comes to mind is just like dietary restrictions and different types of things that you want to avoid even after pregnancy because it still can be passed on to the child. So those are some things that come to mind just off of the top of my head because even though you've delivered and changing, the body is still changing. And so there's some things that you want to avoid and make sure that you're aware of while you're still in those first weeks of recovery. That's one thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, and I've experienced that also.
So
with pushback with that, and then also that could be a culture thing, right? So you have to still be so aware of that and how we handle it. Like for us from the islands, it's spicy food, right? We eat a lot of spicy food, but I've seen where doctors would tell moms stay away from spicy food, right? And like and I had this client one that she was Nigerian, and they eat a lot of spicy food, and she was just like so upset about it. I can't eat my regular food. What do I do? And I'm like, the only thing I can tell you to do is that you have to listen to your doctor. That's all.
Well, I mean, the child does consume that, and so I mean, even after delivery, that is still passed on through the breast milk. So unfortunately, there are some problems that can arise if they eat those type of foods. Right. So you're just trying to, it's more so for the benefit of the patient, but it's just sometimes it's just hard because you just have those cravings.
Exactly, especially that's something that you've been eating, all your life. That's what you are. You have, nothing else tastes good to you. You know for sure. When you're pregnant, your taste bud changed so much already. So now that you can't eat the things that you're craving is another thing that you're fighting. You already sometimes don't have an appetite.
And then once you deliver, you're so excited to eat that food again.
Yeah.
To just realize that you got to hold off some more.
Exactly.
That can be hard.
Yeah, exactly. Also, providing that support during recovery. That's another thing that we also teach in our training. Because like I said, it's not just about, changing diapers and washing bottles. we go deep. We're there for the whole family, and we talk about supporting the parents during recovery. So the physical assistant, right? Physical assistant could be just making sure that you assisting mom getting out of bed sometimes. Sometimes she may need an assistant, right? Help holding the baby so she can take a shower.
Right. That is something that is sometimes not thought about or overlooked, because you don't realize what you need until you're in the moment. So being there for the family, being there for the mother, being there for the child, as an extra set of hands or extra set of support is always beneficial. But as a new mother myself, when I first delivered my son, celebrating his 8-year-old birthday tomorrow. There were some things there were some things that caught me off guard that I didn't even think about until I was in the moment. So I having that extra set of opinions, that opinion of what do you think about this, or how should I cope with this, that would always be beneficial to everyone. I always recommend somebody that can offer you advice based off of experience.
So would you say you were one of those moms who were open to getting help?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, taking shifts. I always say pace yourself and stay hydrated.
Yes.
Because it can be overwhelming.
Yeah. I actually posted a video today. It was one of the things I was talking about. Your nutrients, and also being hydrated during postpartum, during breastfeeding, because that's so important. I've had clients who hired us. Personal experience, me hiring me, and I'll get there, and all she wants me to do is just sit and talk with her, because that's what she did. And at first. At first it was mind bothering. I was like, I remember, even sharing this with my mentee. I'm like, why am I even here? And she's like, you're doing what she needs. What she needed for you to be there to listen to her, and just be that emotional support. Because she had a housekeeper. She didn't want me to do laundry. She didn't want me to do anything. Nothing. She just want me to just sit there and just, be there and just listen to her. And I'm like, okay. Then I got the hang of it. I'm like, okay, that's what you want. That's how I'm
Let me ask
support
you this. How was her recovery? How was her adjustment? Just by listening, like having you there. What do you think how did you observe her personality and her support?
So for her, she had a traumatic birth, and she just wanted to go over. Yeah, she had this perfect birth plan, right? Perfect birth plan. Everything was all planned out. And say that 75% of the things that she had on her birth plan did not go as planned, right? She ended up having, she wanted to have a home birth. She wanted to use a midwife, have a home birth. She ended up having complications, had to go to the hospital. Then she ended up having a C-section.
So all of that was completely unplanned and urgent.
Yes.
All of that
went through the door. And then on top of that, the baby had some complication and had to stay back at the hospital. So it wasn't.
Nothing was planned.
No. So all she wanted to do was just sit and hold her baby and
just happy.
Because she had already booked the service, right? So she's happy, because I even offer him, like, do you want to cut it short, the package? She's like, no, I just enjoy having you here, just come. And then one day I said to her, I said, can I make you some soup? And she's like, sure. And I made her some soup, and she was just so happy.
Do you think those next few days after she was at home and her adjustment, she was able to cope better with what didn't go as planned, and how she was able to adjust for those first few weeks? Did you notice that support was beneficial?
You're saying if she didn't have me there, if
you weren't there, do you think she would have been able to adjust as better?
Yeah, I think she'd have a much more difficult time, because it got to a point where I was able to, like watch the baby so she could take a nap, because she was getting to the
Okay.
point where be not having the baby with her for those days that the baby was in the hospital. I think she was just so scared of not having the baby in her sight anymore that she wasn't
I got it,
sleeping.
okay.
Right, that she wasn't sleeping, because we ended up having to provide overnight care for her later on because she was so sleep deprived. So with
okay.
me being there, and I was also able to refer her, to someone to talk to about what was going on, her emotion and all that. So not having me there, it would have been worse because she would not have anyone to identify what was going on and to refer her to, the appropriate healthcare provider. And she wanted to
Did she
breastfeed.
have? I'm sorry. Did she have family or no?
No, she didn't have any family here. And then her mom was supposed to come, but it was right around with COVID, and she wasn't able to get to come. So it was a lot. It was a lot of issues that was going through. Yep.
Wow.
So it's.
I know
really
that everybody
needed.
has different stories.
Yes. 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 So just sitting there sometimes, just listening to, mom, birth story and the things that they've gone through and what they plan. And even the dads, even the partners, because they too have a story. That they're been there, they're part of it. So they too have a story. So just having someone who is going to be able to listen to them and not judge them.
That's true. Let me ask you this: was this her first birth or second or third?
No, this was her first. This was her first
birth, and I can only imagine.
Yeah, first birth. When I told you, her birth plan was perfect. She wanted a home birth. She hired a midwife. She hired a labor doula. She hired me, the postpartum doula. Everything. She had the tub.
She was ready.
She was ready. She was ready. She was ready, but things did not go as planned. And for me, even during my initial consultation with clients, and I'll ask them, what are your plans? What are your birth plans? And also, what are your postpartum plan, right? And they'll tell me the whole birth plan, and I always say to them, I always ask permission. I'm like, can I suggest something? And they like, yeah. I'm like, or can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, have you read up about, C-section? The rate, the risk, and everything. And they're like, no, I'm having a natural birth. I'm like, I do understand that, but think ahead, just in case something happened. At least you know what to expect, right? Everything, because now you're prepared for it. So God forbid if it doesn't go as planned, at least you already have that information, right? You're more informed, you're more ready, because it doesn't matter.
Right.
Things can happen at any point to anyone, right? And the next thing I'll go on, I'm like, okay, breastfeeding. Yeah, I want to exclusively breastfeed. Like, I'm all for that. But what's your backup plan? Do you have a lactation consultant on board? Right? They're like, no, because, I'm like, okay, I'd suggest for you to hire a lactation consultant, have them a retainer, build that relationship with them. So when, if and when you do need them, no, you're not going to have someone who you have never met, in your...
Or if your child doesn't naturally adjust to breastfeeding in the beginning, because that can happen, where you have imagined them to quickly latch on, but sometimes the latching doesn't go as planned. So you need a couple of tries. You need to do a little bit more practice, and so that can be something that's unexpected for moms as well, because with the intention to breastfeed or the production of milk might not be as quick as you think, is what I want to say.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to do supplemental breastfeeding and use other types of supplemental nutrition because the breast milk development and the production is not as much as you thought. So just preparing moms for that and preparing them for option A, B, and C.
Exactly.
Just in case it doesn't go as planned. Yeah.
Yeah, because even like here in Atlanta, we're blessed that we have we have milk banks, so mom can get human milk if that's what she chooses to do. But Don't wait until you get to that point before you establish that relationship, right? Do your research. Know who you need to call. Start building your resource pipeline. Have everything down because you never know what's going to happen. And then when it comes, the next thing I ask them, okay, so what's your postpartum plan? Because a lot of times mom think about just the birth and it's like, it doesn't end there. You need that support after. So what is your postpartum plan? Sometimes mom already have, 2 or 3 kids. Okay, so who's going to care for those kids? What are you going to do? They might have a pet. Who's going to care for the pet? What's your meal plan?
These are all things to consider.
Yes. What's your meal plan? I mean, I've walked in homes and, perfect nursery, right? And the crib would be here and the diaper genie is across the room because mom feel like, okay, it's more convenient over there. No, it's not more convenient. It needs to be like right here. So your hand is on the baby so you can get to the diaper genie with your hand on top of the, on the baby. Or the drawers with the clothes, you have diapers maybe on the bottom drawer and blankets on top. So things like those, because if you don't know, you don't know. Sometimes that may be the first baby in the family for 30 years. Mom might have been the one and only, or the last baby of the family. So if you don't know, you don't know.
Well, I mean, I just hope that having an open spirit about it, especially with another perspective, that's one thing that is something about being a newborn care specialist, is that you're able to offer a new perspective. You're able to offer new ways of doing things. You can offer new techniques, new advice. You could probably offer the latest trends too, because there may be something new that they're not being aware of, or something that is just like recently trending, or recently a new product out on the market that the mom might not be aware of. So you can always be an extra resource to be able to provide the latest and greatest opportunities for you to smoothly transition and make this work for you and the family.
Yeah, that is true. You were asking me about I have another story. I remember this mom had called me. Baby was just not sleeping, just not sleeping. The baby would, she's like, the baby would sleep for maybe 3 or 5 minutes and she'd just wake up, crying as soon as I put her on walkout. And I walked in the night, I'm like, always tell them, the first couple of nights is assessment, right? I have to go in and analyze what's going on. I can't just tell you. And the first night I was there, I'm holding the baby, and every time the AC unit comes on, because they had a window unit, it's like the baby body would just go limp, right? Just passed out,
really?
just dead asleep, right? And as soon as it stops, she start waking back up. And I'm like,
really?
You need a sound machine. Yes, because she need that. I'm telling you, it was on clockwork. And then mom and I called her in the room, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the baby in the crib, right? As soon as the AC unit comes on, I put her in the crib, and she would just go out. And as soon as the AC unit cuts off, the baby wakes back up.
Wake up.
Yes. And I told her, I said, okay, but the mom had a air purifier in her room that makes a sound. And I asked her, I said, okay, let me see something. And I put it on, and I put it on eye. That baby slept like that was it. That was it. Yeah.
What was the mom's reaction?
Yeah.
How did she react?
She was just shocked. She was like, oh my God, I would never thought about that. I'm like, yeah, she need that sound. Every time the sounds come on, she would just it's like a lullaby. And as soon as it cuts off, she wakes back up. That fixed that problem right there. Right there.
Wow.
But you have to have the ear.
And how long did she sleep?
I mean, she was maybe about 5-6 weeks. So that not night. I think she maybe have gone 5 hours. The first, because she was both she and mom, because they was so tired, so out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So out of it.
I know she was thankful.
Yeah, she was. So, just having the experience, the knowledge, and I always like, documenting stuff, because that's how you're going to learn. Every baby's different. And what works for this one,
Yep.
may not work for that, but just building, your database and gathering information and see what works. 'Cause you're not going to get everything in a textbook.
Oh, no, it's going to be real world. Real world experience.
Yes. Real world. So, yeah. Mr. Bizzell, do you have anything to share?
I've just been listening and taking care of the chat room. I just let y'all do y'all's thing.
I appreciate it so much for always being here, always support. And I want to share with my audience again. If there's anyone in the Snellville area or the Stone Mountain area, because this is where the show is, I would be more than happy to give you a breast pump and give you some storage bag. We're all for breastfeeding, but, sometimes mom may not be able to breastfeed, or mom going back to work and she definitely need a pump. So it's a great brand, right? And also the bags. So let me know, drop it in the link, just let me know. You can drop the word gift and I'll get it for you. I will get
and
it.
And that's a very good brand. I recognize that brand. That's a very good brand.
Yes, it is. I'm also, I should brought my information. I also partner with another company that they're working with the insurance company for moms to get, and I'm going to send it to you, Sade. You can get a breast pump. You can get a compression socks. You can get, oh my God, let me see. I think I have it on my phone. But you get 6 items instead of just the breast pump from your insurance. You can get 6 items, but you have to use the barcode that I am going to share with.
Oh, definitely. I know a lot of people that will benefit from that.
Yeah, it's called a mommy care kit, and you get what they
get. Nice.
Yeah, is a lower back support, which provides support when lifting and pain relief, low back. You get electric breast pump, up to 4 options available. And you also get a blood clot prevention cuff. It would help increase circulation and reduce swelling. You get a TINS unit.
Really?
Yes. And like I said, the compression socks, and also a 3-in-1 perinatal brace, which is a belly band and postpartum wrap, waist shaper, all in one. Yep, you get 6 products. You're right. So all you have to do is scan. I'll send you the flyer. Scan the QR code and see if your insurance, if the insurance is covered by insurance. But the code, you get all 6 instead of just getting the breast pump from your insurance.
Yes, please send that to me.
I definitely will send that to you. So, well, thank you so much for another wonderful show, and looking forward to a lot more collaboration. And if anyone else is interested in partnering and getting this training into the hands of your caregivers, because like for you, they are mostly CNAs who now are interested in working with the maternal community. Because a lot of times, even CNAs, they'll do the training, but they don't always want to work with the elderly. Right. And then with this training, it opens so much more opportunities, because now they can work in a pediatrician office. They can work in a preschool. They can work in a church nursery. And on top of that, part of our training is for you to start your own business, because I'm all about having your own business. So that's something that we pushed, for people who do this training and want to start their own business. And I'm also offering 3 months of mentorship when you sign up for the training. So if anyone is interested, we're going to drop the link for the training in the chat to sign up. And then for the people who are on your team, they also can get the link from you to sign up for the training.
The mentorship is key, because it's going to be, it's always nice to have the opportunity to speak to somebody with a previous experience who knows the business, who can help you avoid making mistakes. and could probably open up a couple doors and connect you to a couple resources that you may not be able to, that you may have not even thought of,
Yes.
or may be able to call somebody that you weren't even able to get through.
That's true.
So, yeah, I always encourage people to have a mentor.
Yes, yes. The 23rd of this month is going to be 12 years since I started.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 12 years. And that, it has not been easy, but having, people that I could lean on have really, really helped me. And I wish that, I had a coach, just having a mentor. I did do that, later on. But having the opportunity now where they're going to be able to get that from day one off the ground is going to be, helpful a lot. So Sade, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to many, many more to come. And everyone, until next time, thank you so much for being here. If anyone knows someone who is in need of a breast pump or some storage bag, please reach out. And also, if you know anyone who is pregnant and is in need of any supply, please feel free to reach out, because I do have a lot of resources that I can, put you onto, because that's part of, what we do, Mothers Helping Hands. We serve across the board. We're not only for the people who can afford to pay, but for the underserved and, people who can't afford, We have resources that we can definitely share with you and help you, because we are here for the long haul, and we want to make sure that we create an impact in the maternal mortality rate. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is to band together, work together, and put our money where our mouth is. We cannot keep talking and do nothing. We also have a nonprofit organization called Rosalee Cares, and that is providing training, mentorship, and also service to go back into the homes and help. We're helping with, new parent, teenage moms, and also respite care to, cancer patient, because, I've gone through it with my mom. I know what it's like to be in that sandwich generation and need the help. So we're looking for sponsorship. Please, please, please. We're looking for help and support. So please reach out to me. My number is 678-770-2313 or 678-898-4005. Until next time, chat Bout with Rosalee Henry. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Tune in to Rosalee Henry, the seven-figure doula whisperer, every Thursday at 7 p.m. on the Caribbean Live Radio. Chat Bout with Rosalee Henry, the seven-figure doula whisperer.